like focusing on joining in upcoming days. So our batches are between 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you can pick any time between these timings. And our sessions are totally live. It's not pre-recorded. So if you have any concerns regarding such sessions or queries about it, you can contact us. And last but not least, the update. Obviously, you already have followed us. Of if you're missing us on any platform like Facebook, Instagram, or Telegram, as well as on YouTube, so you can follow us on these channels. Our channel name are webberz.in for Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. And previous sessions, obviously many students are new in this session. So they've already missed a previous session. So if you're looking for a previous session, go to our YouTube, Webberz Educomplimited, and you can check our previous videos. So I'm now going to invite today's trainer, Ms. Harmeet Kaur. So she will highlight on writing task 2, do's and don'ts, as well as the difference between CDIs and the paper. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all are fine. So this is Harmeet here. I'm from Webberz Educomp Limited. I have been teaching IELTS here for last 4 years. So today we are going to discuss our writing session, writing task 2, and what are the do's and don'ts in this. All right, so let's get started. Before that, I would like to have just a thumbs up from all of you if you all are there. So let's have a small interaction. Maninder Kaur is there, then Surinder, Simranjeet, Mehakpreet Kaur, Kiran. Are you guys there?
Yes, well,
Okay, you all can hear me, right? Fine, let's just start the topic today. So it is going to be do's and don'ts of a writing task 2. So we all know that be anybody about like academic or a student of general training, we are very, we sometimes are stuck in our writing task 2 because they are very stringent in this task. So let's just start with this. So first we will have a quick overview of writing parameters because after knowing the writing structure, you should know the parameters of writing checkup, that how your writer would be checked by the examiner, right? So there are four parameters. First one is task achievement and task response. So task achievement is always seen in task 1, that is, letter or maybe report writing. If you are an academic candidate, you would be having report writing as task 1, and for GT people it is a letter writing. So what they are going to see in task achievement, they would just see if you have achieved all the prompts or not. Have you covered each and every part of your task or not, right? So we need to cover each and everything given in the question in your task, along with the word limit given. Plus, as there are other parameters too, we need to see them all. So overall thing would be checked in task achievement in task 1. And next is task response. Task response is basically checked in task 2, that is an essay. So in essay, what they are going to see, they would see the relevancy of the ideas, they would see your idea linkage and your handwriting if you're taking pen and paper based IELTS. Plus, they are going to check your word count as well. So it has to be under the word limit, right? So this is about task achievement and task response. Then next one is coherence and cohesion. So coherence is basically the interconnection of the paragraphs. Like we have 4 paragraphs there: introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then conclusion. So all those paragraphs should be connected to each other using some connectors and linking words. That is called coherence, right? And cohesion is the transition or the connection of the ideas and sentences. This means in each paragraph, you have to make a smooth transition between the ideas and sentences. So this CC part is all about the fluency of your writing. Your write-up has to be a flow. Fine. Next one is lexical resources. So lexical resources, this is all about vocabulary or the material you would be using for your write-up, like the collocations, idioms, phrases, if you're using any, or a high vocab, if you're using that, you should know how to use that. So the word has to be used as noun or as verb. So you need to know all these things, right? So second thing, yeah, the spellings are also checked in this part. LR part would be having the spelling parameter as well. That is called like, this is how they would be deducting your marks. So if you are making 3 spelling errors, they would deduct half a band, right? Then we have grammatical range and accuracy. As the name suggests, it is all about grammar. So you need to show a variety of sentences, a range of grammatical structures, and they will even check how accurate your grammar is. So this is going to be a grammatical part where they will check your variety, the sentence structures, plus the accuracy of all your grammar things, right? So all these 4 parameters contribute 25% each in our 9 bands. In 3 plus 6 bands. So 3 is the weightage of task 1, 6 is the weightage of task 2, right? Now let's move to the types of essays. So this is, as this session is all about task 2, so let's just have a look on the types of essays. So we have these many types of essays. First is opinion-based essay. Opinion-based essay means the question can be anything. They would just give you a background statement and they would ask you give your opinion, or give your opinion with relevant examples, or give your ideas, or what do you think about this, or do you agree or disagree, or what do you think, it has some positives or negative influence. All these types of questions may come in opinion based essay, where directly or indirectly they would be asking your opinion. Fine. So in this one, you have to keep a structure where you need to discuss the ideas to justify your opinion in 2 body paragraphs. And in conclusion part, you need to give your full-fledged opinion, which you have already described, or sorry, declared in the introduction paragraph. The same opinion has to be rephrased in conclusion part. Fine. Next would be discussion. Let me know, guys, if you have any doubt in between, okay? Next type would be discussion based essays. So, again, as the name suggests, it is a kind of discussion based where 2 points or 2 statements would be given. Like some people think this or others think that. So, 2 opinions would be discussed and they would just say discuss, or discuss both sides, discuss both views, and sometimes even the question can be discuss both sides and give your opinion. So here again, you have to discuss both the opinions in BP1 and BP2, and then in conclusion paragraph, you have to give your opinion if it is asked, then only. Otherwise, you just have to sum up the ideas that you have already given in the body paragraphs. Next would be third type, advantage and disadvantage essays. So these are there are actually 2 to 3 types of this essay. The question can be what are the advantages? I mean, any random statement would be given to you, and question would be what are the advantages, or what are the advantages and disadvantages, or do advantages outweigh the disadvantages, all those. So in case it is given like what are the advantages, you have to keep 1 or maybe 2 advantages in each paragraph. Not more than 2 ideas can be given in any of the paragraphs. If it is about advantages and disadvantages, then you have to give 1 paragraph of advantages and another one of demerits. If it says do advantages outweigh the disadvantages, this means we have to show more side in the first paragraph and less side in the second paragraph, or vice versa. If it is about like disadvantages outweigh the advantages, then it would be opposite. Next one is solution essays. So this type of essay may have a question like a random again statement would be given, and they would just ask what are the solution to this problem, or they can even ask this in question form, right? And sometimes this question can be like what are the effects and solutions. So again the body structure would be as per the topic. So if it is only about solution, we have to give one solution in each paragraph along with good examples. Then next is direct question essays. So these questions are like directly, they would be just writing the questions and you will have to answer them. So body paragraphs would be dependent upon the number of questions. Examiner is not going to put more than 3 questions because they know the word limit, and they would just put under that only. Clear with this? Any doubt, anyone? All right. Now let's start with the main topic or concept of our class today. So we are going to discuss do's and don'ts. So this is a very important thing, guys. You should know what are the things that we need to avoid while writing an IELTS essay, because it's not a kind of, the essay we used to write in 10th or 12th standard where we would have a lot of material to write and we would write the things, whatever, come to our mind. So this is something very specific. We have to write the particular topics, and as you know that IELTS essays are basically based on current affairs, so we need to know the format of IELTS and the structures that they have provided officially. Plus we need to see the parameters also, if we are covering them or not, or what are the do's and don'ts, how much formal it should be. So we need to know all these things. So first thing is, when you have any essay, you need to discuss ideas of one side, right? Suppose if you have a question, do you agree or disagree? So you are writing both the things. I mean, you have chosen both 50-50%. So you are saying that to some extent I agree and to some extent I disagree. So you should choose one side at a time in one paragraph. So discuss ideas of one side only in one paragraph, and do not repeat ideas. Repetition is not at all allowed in IELTS. Next is word limit. So this is something very, crucial part of this. There are many students who come in classes and say, ma'am, my writing is not getting into that limit because I tend to write more. My ideas are lengthy. So what they do, they do the same thing in their real exam and they get their marks deducted. So we have to keep our word count in 250 to 270 or maximum 280 words. Being underlength or overlength, the write-up would be giving you less score only. They are not giving you more, going to give you more scores, right? And now let's just see some other points. So first thing is, you need to analyze the topic very carefully. So when you see a question, whatever the question is, what exactly you have to see, you need to read the statement, full statement, and then in the half part, you must have seen that they give the question. So we need to see the type of the question there. Once we get to know the type of the question, we can just brainstorm the ideas and we can follow that structure of IELTS essay, right? Suppose if the essay is, do you agree or disagree? Now we know that this is a one-sided question where we can choose one side because examiner is asking, do you agree or do you disagree? There is no option given, right? So in that case, if you have seen that type of essay first and you have analyzed the topic, you would definitely follow that structure. Otherwise you would make some mistake, right? So if you have this particular type of question, you would be keeping your body paragraphs accordingly. Now if the question is, to what extent do you agree or disagree, in that case, you know that examiner is asking your extent. So in that essay, you can write to some extent, like I agree with the statement, or to some extent, I disagree with this. So we can go with many of the options here: 50-50%, 80-20, 70-30%, or maybe fully agree or fully disagree, right? So this is the most important part of our brainstorming, that we need to analyze the topic first, right? And we have to respond to all parts of the prompt fully. So this is something about task one actually, where you have some prompts. So if how many of you are academic candidates here? Please raise your hand, guys, if you are academic. Shruti, Minu, Deep, and all right. Okay, so you all know that you have a report writing, right? So what are the basic things we need to cover in that? We have to see the key features, right? And we have to see the things that are given there. And moreover, we have to see the task. If it is any bar graph or any line graph or any pie chart, we have to see the contents given in that. So those are called prompts in task one of academic, right, in report writing. So we have to respond to all the parts of the prompts. And in letter and task one of general training people, so in that we know that there are some follow-up questions like we have in cue card, right? So all those prompts we need to cover in our essay, sorry, in our answer. So this is about the prompts of task one. Fine. And then we have next thing, that spend the first 5 minutes planning your essay. So guys, you have 40 minutes to write your essay, right? I think writing a thing is not that difficult. It's just brainstorming the ideas. We need to have at least 5 minutes to plan the essay or to brainstorm the ideas. We can just, make a proper plan of our ideas, that what exactly I think I would be writing in my essay and in the further paragraphs. So we should have a plan before starting the write up. Okay, so take 5 minutes for that. And then in the introduction we need to, what exactly we have to see. Yes, Rohit, you want to say something? Rohit, you have raised your hand. So sorry, your voice is breaking.
Network problem.
Okay.
Hello,
Yes,
am I
yes,
audible?
please. Yes, you are.
Uh, I just want to know about our task when we have to write some report on a line graph, bar graph, and also some.
I think he has his network is unstable, so he has left. Okay, let's continue with this. So, in the introduction part, what exactly is needed and what examiner expects from you? So, we have journal statement first of all. Okay, it's always better to give a journal statement while writing an essay. Uh, Rohit has come back. Okay, I would just take his query. So, in the introduction part, we will have first journal statement. It is good to write a journal statement to make the essay impressive, right? Especially for journal candidates. If academic people don't want to put this, it's okay. You can just start with the paraphrasing of the task or paraphrasing of the background statement. And then third statement would be to state the aim of your essay in thesis statement. It means your opinion or your answer. That should come in the thesis statement. Fine. So in introduction, you should have three statements: journal statement, then paraphrasing of the background statement, and then thesis statement. And it has to be from 35 to 50 words only. Then divide your essay into paragraphs. Yeah, so there are certain students who just keep writing the full essay in just one paragraph, or they divide it in two paragraphs only. But what IELTS format says, they say that you should divide your essay in four paragraphs. First would be introduction, then body paragraph one and body paragraph two, and then you need to write conclusion. I think you all are aware of this. So you have to divide your essay into paragraphs. One more thing is there. I'm not sure if you guys know that or not, but the margin and alignment should be proper in your write up. Okay, that is also an important part in a writing checkup. So, and your paragraph has to be started from the beginning of the line only. So you don't need to leave any space before starting the paragraph. Okay, but after every paragraph you have to leave a line or leave space. Plus margin and alignment on both sides, left and right, should be proper. They are going to check that also. Next is start each paragraph with a topic sentence. So guys, this is something that that would let the examiner know about your topic, and they would even see if your task is in fluency or not. So you have to make it fluent. For that you have to use some connectors to connect the topic sentence. But this does not mean that you repeat the same topic sentence. Okay, it just mean that the main idea should be in progression, not the repetition. Fine. Any doubt in this, guys, till now?
No, ma'am.
All okay? Rohit, I would take your query later. Okay, you were disconnecting, so I just continued. Okay. Now, let's have some more do's in our essay. Next is summarize the points made in essay in the conclusion. This you all know that this is the structure of our conclusion paragraph, that we have to sum up the ideas that we have already given in the body paragraphs, and then we need to put one opinion which we have given or we have just introduced in the introduction part. So that same opinion should be there in conclusion part, but it has to be rephrased. We cannot write the same statement as it is. Next thing is avoid repetition by using synonyms. So synonyms, that you're not supposed to use the same word in every line or in every paragraph. Okay, so you have to use some different words or vocabulary, or you can use synonyms. Like for important, this is a word that is most common, in task 1 or task 2. So to use or to replace this, we can use the words vital, essential, crucial, mandatory, indispensable, significant, and many more. Right, there's a huge list of the synonyms of important word, and there are some other common words which we need to keep on our tips for writing and for speaking both, like important, benefit, then we have prime, vital, and many other words are there. So next thing is use formal linking words. Yes, you have to use some formal linking words, which we call connectors also, like despite, nevertheless, or furthermore. Next thing is use complex sentences. Now, this is something for actually, it is especially for journal training people, because they can use, if academic people are not able to use complex sentences, don't worry, do not rush after this. Okay, so you can use simple and clear language as well, and still you can have a better score, but it has to be correct. Okay, your handwriting should be legible if you are taking pen and paper based IELTS. Plus, your sentences should be correct. They should be grammatically accurate. But if you would be using the complex sentences, these would definitely add a point in your band score. So if you are able to use them, if you are not even able, you can learn more complex structures, and you can use in your daily practice. You can get your answers or your tasks corrected from your trainers, and then you can just feel that how much what difference you have got with the complex sentences. So it's always better to use them, but if you're not used to use, it's okay, you can keep them simple and clear as well. Next is this is the most important part which I personally suggest my students, that proofread your writing to avoid simple mistakes, and many of them have got a better score after having this habit. You should have this habit, guys. You have to proofread your writing. So first 5 minutes you can give for the planning of your essay. You can brainstorm the ideas, and then I think 30 or 35 minutes are more than enough to write a thing that is already planned, right? So you can use 30 to 35 minutes to write your task, and then 5 minutes you can keep to proofread. It's always better to proofread the things once or twice. Every time you will get new mistakes. You will get those silly errors that we all make. Just because of those silly errors only, we get our bands deducted. Do you know that with the three spelling errors, we get a half band deducted? And if there are five mistakes total, be it any grammatical error or any spelling error or any other error, your half a band again is deducted. Okay, so we need to read the things more carefully after writing. Now let's just talk about don'ts. So there are some don'ts to be followed. Do not use emotive language like the words or the slangs. For example, disgusting, fabulous. These words can be used in your speaking. Okay, writing is very formal. IELTS writing is something all about formal thing only. There is nothing to be used informal or any kind of like emotive language. Second would be, don't use colloquial expressions. It means informal expressions, right? Never use them. For example, I had a great time. And do not even use your personal words, I, we, you. Avoid using them. You can just journalize the things. Okay, like you can denote people or certain individuals. You can use those words instead of putting personal words. And then avoid simple vocabulary. Yeah, simple vocab should be avoided. Very simple vocab, I would say, like say, think, bad. So these types of words can be replaced with the words like state, assert, opine, perceive, or for bad, you can use unpleasant, dreadful, or terrible. Fine. Then we have next thing, that avoid basic linking words. Basic linking words like and, but, also. So for these, you can use the words however, nevertheless, moreover, to add more, additionally, right? So avoid using the basic linking words. If you want to score more, then only, otherwise they are good to write. Okay. Then don't copy the task in your introduction. Yeah. So guys, sometimes what happens, like we don't paraphrase or rephrase the things. So in introduction, paraphrasing is the most important part, because from that only examiner is going to see your level of writing. You know that after seeing the introduction, if your introduction is impressive, logical, and easy to understand, examiner can have an idea that you are going to have a better writing, or you are going to discuss something better in a better form, right? So do not copy the task or the same statement in your introduction. You need to paraphrase it. Plus, don't even use the main ideas or examples in introduction as well as in conclusion paragraph. They shouldn't be used. Okay, conclusion should have just summary or your opinion, and in introduction should have the main idea as in, I mean, not the main idea that we are going to put in body paragraph. In fact, the journal statement plus paraphrasing of the main or key point that is given in the question, and then your thesis statement. Nothing else is required. Rest everything should be given in body paragraphs. Then don't use examples or arguments unrelated to the topic. Yeah. So as I have told you that in task response, they are going to see your relevancy only, that how relevant your topic is. So they will be seeing your idea linkage. So you are not supposed to put any kind of example or any argument that is unrelated to the topic. right? So you have to be relevant only, do not go off topic. Next is don't use overgeneralization. Yeah. So sometimes we start giving the same things like everyone, always, never, all these words we use again and again. Do not overgeneralization, use that overgeneralization, okay? You can just paraphrase or rephrase the things if you want to add them. Fine. And next, let's have the next thing. Okay, let me have any question. If you have, guys, please let me know. Is there any question? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
In writing, like where we have to quote example,
Mm-hmm.
so there we can write if I talk about myself. For instance, we are talking about the advent of MNCs,
Mm.
say KFCs and all. So
Mm-hmm.
with the advent, if I want to share that when I was a kid,
Mm.
during my childhood days,
Mm.
so we were
Yeah,
running
right.
functions.
Okay, I got you. See, Navneet, personal examples should be given only if they are asked in the question statement. Okay. Otherwise, we should avoid writing any kind of personal example. We can just generalize the example also. Like, for example, if you say that the advent of KFC and MNCs, you can just talk about the journal thing or about the people. Okay. Try to generalize the statement as much as you can. Fine. But if they are giving this thing in the question statement that use your own example, sometimes they give that, no, in the question form,
Yes.
use your own examples or use your, the examples that you have or use your own experiences. If that is given in the question, then we can use. Otherwise, avoid writing the personal words plus personal opinions. Opinion, definitely we need to put in conclusion paragraph. Still, for that also we should avoid writing I, we. Okay, many times we can use them twice only while giving your opinion, or only if the personal example is asked. That time also you can use the word I or we. Okay, otherwise you can journalize the examples.
So
Not in
we can
every
put
essay it is.
according to me or I opine is strictly not to be.
Iopine is still better. According to me, should never be used. This is not a phrase to be used actually by the general people. According to the prime minister, according to the president, according to that author, okay, this phrase is for those people, for certain,
Mm.
famous or some certified people, or you can even use according to this particular survey. But according to me should never be used in writing and not even in speaking, right?
And more thing, ma'am. Surveys, we can write them. I have heard
Hmm.
that
And that
it's
if
not
you don't have any example, you can use this. You must have heard that, right?
okay. I was told by someone that it
Hmm.
needs to be eliminated now. It's not that scoring or stuff like that.
Definitely. See, you all must have heard this thing that if you don't have any real time example, you can put any survey or any random thing and you can
Yes.
cook. Of course, you can cook any example, but that should be relevant to the topic. Not only the surveys or the reports we can put in our formal topic or in our essay, because essay is something that is very formal, plus it is based upon current affairs. So surveys can be put in the essays, something like where it is given about the medical conditions of a particular country, right? Or the we can say natural disasters of a nation. In those essays, we can put surveys, but not in every essay. If you are not getting any example, you are not supposed to put a survey. Okay, try to put the real time examples. If you have to cook that example, that is also fine, but do not use surveys in all types of essays.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Last question.
Hmm.
So when we say my option, my viewpoint, we can also write my sentiments will be reflected in the conclusion. This
Well,
word
it
sentiment.
again, no, the word sentiment again is a bit personal and informal. So we should avoid that as well.
Okay.
Okay, you can say my perception would go with this, or we should always avoid using the word sentiment, feelings, emotions, because they are asking a general opinion, not only the emotions, not only our personal emotions or feelings, but they are just asking the general opinion about a particular journal topic.
Okay.
Fine.
And
Mhm.
tenses, ma'am. Tenses in writing. So only one tense will go, or we can write like multiple tenses we can use.
We should write multiple tenses.
Multiple. Okay.
The last parameter which we have discussed, guys, that is GRA, grammatical range and accuracy, right? So that means they would be saying your grammatical range. Range means a range of sentences, a variety of sentences. So it is always good if you are using some simple sentences, compound sentences, complex structures, or sometimes active or sometimes passive sentences. You should use them if you know. Okay, do not use one kind of tense, of course, like it would be again, it would be based upon your task only. For example, if we talk about cue card in speaking, right? So in that case, we would be speaking in one tense only if the topic is about past. We can never use present tense. So it depends upon the statement or the question, but again, sentence structures should be different. Fine.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay, Rohit, yes, you're saying that you have problem in task one, report section. So you can write down your question, Rohit. I would try to answer that, okay, in the last part of the session, because today's session is about task two, but I would definitely answer your question, okay? You please write down your question here in chat if you can't speak. Okay, guys, let's see the next thing now. So I always have this question in my classes that do we need to include our opinion? Is it really true? Do you guys think that? Should we give our opinion in every type of essay?
Where it is
Yes, okay. Anybody else? Should the opinion be given in the task? It shouldn't be given in every type of task, okay, in every type of essay. So like there are certain questions where the question is something like about advantages, disadvantages, or maybe effects and solutions, or causes and effects, or sometimes three things are given: causes, effects, and solutions, right? In these types of questions, they do not ask the opinion. So if it is not given in the question, you should never put your opinion. Okay, that would be a forced opinion and it may lead to a negative marking. Okay, so for example, the question is some companies and organizations require their employees to wear uniform. What are the advantages and disadvantages of wearing uniform? Now, where they've asked the opinion, they haven't, right? So we should never put the opinion in this type of task. We just have to put advantages in body paragraph 1 and disadvantages in body paragraph 2. And then we have to put the summary of these two ideas only, okay, that we have given in body paragraphs in the conclusion. We don't need to add anything else in that. Fine. So next thing is, okay. So next, a very general and common question is that can I delete words and make corrections in writing? So yes, of course, you guys can. It's not a speaking task. So it is normal when you proofread your writing, right? When you read the things, revise the paragraphs or essay or letter, you feel to replace with the new ones, new words, because sometimes, a new word strike to a mind, then suddenly we feel that I should replace this, or I should use this word instead of using that. Or sometimes we repeat the words and then we can replace them. So of course you can use this, you can do it. So make sure your new words are clear to read. Okay, this is especially for the people who are taking pen and paper based. Okay, so you guys have to keep your writing legible while making the corrections. Next thing is, will I get a higher score using idioms, proverbs, or quotes? But no. Okay, answer is no. If you are using idioms, proverbs, or quotes, you will not be getting a higher score. Okay, this is not going to affect your score. So all idioms, well, I personally do not recommend to use idioms or proverbs. I never do that. I don't even recommend this to journal people who, know idioms, or, sometimes they can use relevant idioms too. But this is not something that should be uh, written in task 2, which is really formal, right? And so all idioms are not suitable to be fitted in writing task 2. Don't use idioms you don't understand, okay? Because not okay. So, for example, it costs an arm and leg, right? This is an informal idiom for IELTS writing task 2. Instead, use idioms like the key to this issue. So there are some formal codes which can be used, okay, but not every idiom can be used in writing task 2. Now, proverbs and quotes are not usually academic and that are more suited to speaking. In speaking, you guys can use, okay, but not in writing. You get a high score when you use appropriate and natural language in the right context. This is the only thing important, guys, while writing any essay or letter or task 1. You will definitely get a higher score if you are using appropriate and natural language in the right context and in a right flow, using some good connectors, making a smooth transition between ideas and sentences, right? Third thing is, using quotes is not really suitable for IELTS because they are not your own words. Yes. So we have to use our own words only. And that's the only thing examiner would be expecting from you. Okay. They are going to give you marks on your own words, not for the quotes that are already written by someone else. Okay, now okay, this is a goodie we are going today, guys. For this IELTS writing task 2 samples are in this book. You can download the PDF or you can ask for this on these numbers. You can have a screenshot of these numbers or